Hello, this is Lisa Hazard and Misty Lore with We're All Psychic. Misty, how are you today?
I'm good, Lisa. How are you?
I'm good. And do you still think we're psychic on December 5th, 2020?
I do. Yes,
You know
I
what?
do.
I do too. Isn't that
Oh, goody.
neat? So
This will be
tonight,
a good one.
I hope so. I hope so. Tonight, we are going to talk about, we were going to do a series. We were talking about doing a series of just telling stories. And I told Misty what I wanted to talk about. And she's like, well, let's just do that for the podcast. I said, okay. Does that sound about a good summary for you?
Yes, yes, I'm
That's
excited.
how organized we are. Like, what's up? What's up?
Yes,
What you doing?
very,
Okay,
very organized.
that. So yeah, this is a story I'm going to tell. And it's basically about chi and prana and the great spirit. So chi and prana and the great spirit, and I'm sure it goes by a lot of other names. It's a type of energy work with the breath of life is kind of what that is considered. Prana, and when it's called prana, it's the breath of life. If you do yoga, you'd be learning a lot of the breathing techniques, and that helps you connect to this
Oh,
kind of energy. So
okay.
with chi, it's more related to martial arts and moving
Aha.
your body along with the the movements of martial arts. And
Gotcha. That makes sense.
yeah, and the great spirit is like a Native American term for it. And so what happened to me was a local uh, karate teacher died, and they came when like a few days after they died, and they came and they showed me. They just said, "Show stand like this," and they were just like invite. Well, they didn't just come in and blah, rah, rah, rah. When I realized they were there, I invited them in, and they were
Wait, did you
young.
know them previously?
I'd never met this person. I just knew of them,
Okay. All right, go ahead.
and they uh well, he showed himself as a younger person, and I didn't. I was just like, well, you look cool. I'll let you in. I let him come in, and
Hmm.
I didn't know who it was, and at the time, and he was wearing a white karate outfit with a
Yeah.
black belt, and he was like, doing like the little hands together, like like yoga, or I don't know I don't know what
Yeah.
you call that, but it's like praying, but you do it like with your elbows out like this. And he was just
Yeah.
standing there, and he wouldn't talk. Like he wouldn't, like, when I communicate with spirits, usually their mouths kind of move when they talk, or there's movement, but his
Yeah.
was just like his mouth he never really talked. He just like implied what I could do. So he says, I was sick at the time. I was very sick, uh, as usual. And
Mm.
I think at that time it was stomach issues. And he says, in the way he talked, not with his mouth, but with his whatever, he
With his
held,
mind.
yeah, with his mind. And there weren't any words. He didn't tell me the words chi or prana or anything like that. Um, so he told me to stand, and if you know yoga, it's like a warrior. It's kind of like the warrior
Yeah.
pose.
Yeah.
And but I had to do something a little different with my hands. And then I felt, and it's just like the feeling with yoga. And because I used to do yoga in my 20s, and I did this pose, and I did a couple things with my hands, and then I felt the great spirit, I guess you could say. But in my mind, I did hear him use the word chi. But I was like, I don't know exactly what chi is, but I'm gonna call it prana because I know what prana is from yoga,
Right.
And so
Right.
I just kind of kept following through in my mind as I'm jumping ahead, but at the time when I did this, I felt it. So the way I can explain it is that I tried to explain it to you before we started the podcast. It's like some kind of it's kind of like a Reiki intelligence, but it's kind of like the energy. It's another form of energy healing or energy work. And it's kind of like, I don't know what it is, to be honest with you, but what chi is helps me with is keeping coordinated. Not I'm very clumsy by nature. And
Me too.
so when this first happened, he demonstrated some things for me to try doing, and like over the next few weeks, and still he'll come around once in a while and be like, don't forget. He doesn't say don't forget. It's just like it's like he's reminding me try
Yeah,
working
he's
with the
reminding
chi.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, if I'm walking to the kitchen with 17 dishes in my hand or something, you know, yes, and I know one's gonna fall, it's like, the first thing he told me to do is always, like, loosen the knees, and drop your shoulders and put your hips out, and that's kind of I think that's I've never taken martial arts, but I think that's a martial arts thing, but that's when and take a deep breath, and then it's just like I can control my movements better, and
Really?
I don't wanna call it control because it's not really controlling. It's more like predictive, or it's like it calms me down. Let's say I'm carrying those 17 dishes to the kitchen from the living room in that scenario. I guess it'd be like, I would know or understand or somehow like the chi energy flowing through my arms and hands and my chest and my shoulder, every little part of my body, even down to my toes and the way they're moving when I'm walking. Um,
Oh, wow.
if I were to invite that chi energy in, it would just take over, not take over. It's hard to, it's not like it's not like a force. It just
Right.
helps. It would tell me what hand to put where or what to
And
rearrange
it
or what's
helps
going to
balance
fall.
you more.
Yeah, and I'm not like
Yeah.
frantic. It stops the frantic or the worry or the I'm gonna drop this thought, and it just like
Right.
makes I get really
Concentration.
yeah, I get
Yeah.
really clear headed, and it's like it seems so easy. It makes things seem easier too, not as
Hmm.
difficult. So, I don't know, it's a really to me, I would say it's like a physical it's an energy that really helps your physicality, and like I was saying to you before the podcast, for me, it's helpful, especially um, because I am so clumsy, it's kind of hard to explain. Help me out.
Well, it helps you because you're so clumsy in everyday life. Like I'm clumsy too, so that would be a really good skill for me to learn.
Yeah, I
You
I might
know.
be able to show you. One time when my friend April was over, we were on the back porch, and that was the first time I told Mikey about this experience, and I told her about it, and I was like, and the spirit happened to be there at the time. Sometimes when you talk about them, the spirits, um, they'll come around because it's kind of like
Yeah.
or you're allowing them. I don't know how it works, but maybe I'm just like kind of inviting him. I didn't mind if he popped up
Yeah.
right
You
then. And
are.
he's like, I will, and I was
Yeah.
like, and
Yeah.
she said I was telling her a little about it. This was just baby days into it. And she's like, I do. I was telling her he wants you to know what it feels like, and maybe you could use it too. Although April's graceful, so, but
Oh, okay.
she's just like, yeah, I do feel. I said, right now he's sending that chi to you, and still then I was thinking of it as prana, but somehow the spirit got through to me to think of it as chi over the last year or so, or whatever he
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, you got to call it the right thing, woman.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. He doesn't have like a big sense of humor. It's like he's got a sense of humor, but he's just so like this particular spirit is like single-mindedly wanted to teach me this and not really anything else. He wanted to get
Yeah.
that. I don't know why, but he wanted me to know that. And it helps so much. I just wish I could keep it present in my mind to invite the chi energy to help work with me
Yeah.
more
That's what I was
often.
going to
Yeah.
ask you. Do you have to invite it first before you actually get to the process of doing it, or do you invite after?
I don't
You
really
know,
know. I think it's just like as soon as it occurs to me, and like if it occurs to me, it could be a spirit reminding me, it could be me just going, oh crap, I'm about to drop these 17 dishes and she might help. You know, I think it's always there. It's always there. Everybody has it. And
yeah.
working with it is just like instead of ignoring it or fighting it or working with it and not knowing, you're just focusing that. It's kind of like his focus was on teaching me chi. Chi's focus is always there, and you can take the chi and focus it yourself. You've got it. Everyone has it.
Yeah.
It's the great spirit. It's the breath of life. It's the energy. I don't know what it means, but I just know what it feels like, and I could show you that probably if I maybe that pose he was showing me is something I can teach other people and show you sometime. What
Yes.
he showed me what to do with my hands and whatnot in the warrior pose. And it was kind of just a magical Sunday anyway. I can't remember, a Saturday or something like that. I was just, laid up and no one was home and that happened. So it was kind of neat.
Wow.
And
That is so cool.
Yeah. I wish I did some reading about it, of course, immediately that day and for the weeks or, after that, and then I just kinda, memory, not the best, but I kept working with the energy itself, especially just everyday mundane tasks, and it also makes them not as tedious or unenjoyable or, like, pain in the ass, you know? If it's something, like, you
Right.
don't wanna do, and, it just makes everything more enjoyable too, and it's not even enjoyable, it just makes things, like, simpatico, just kind of good. I don't know how to explain it. It takes
Huh.
away
Well,
negativity, definitely.
yeah, but I mean, that's the whole kind of purpose of yoga too, is to get a lean body that's strong. You know what I mean? And that's the whole purpose of it, you know. But also, you know, to learn the breathing techniques and to learn how to control things in your body. So I can see how that would be a lot like yoga.
It's also an awareness, and when I first went to yoga out west, it wasn't like this oddly, but when I did yoga, it was in Huntsville. And it was at a little studio. Geez, I don't even know where it was now. This is when I was in my early 20s, and it was a really spiritual kind of yoga. It wasn't the kind of yoga in the gym, you know? It was like
Wow,
incense
yeah.
and windows and soft music and bubbling little water fountains
Oh, that
and it
sounds so
was it was like
nice.
an hour long, and at the end she would come like we all she was just an angel. And the way I was taught what yoga was about is those things you said, but also balance. And
Yes, balance. Yes. Yeah.
balance in yoga. And I have bad balance anyway of like my tremor. So with yoga, when I did certain things, my tremor will stop. Cause see, like if I go like this, it's
Yes.
shaking like crazy. And then if I,
I love
it
that.
calms down some. And I didn't, like as I've said on the podcast, at that age, I wasn't thinking about, this is psychic energy or energy or anything like that. I was like, this is awesome. I love yoga. But then when I tried yoga at gyms and stuff, it just wasn't the same. Oh, but this woman, she would come around at the end. She'd have us all laying on our mats, lying down, and she'd have our eyes closed and playing music, and she'd burn some Nag Champa, and then she'd come and rub Nag Champa oil on our foreheads with our eyes closed, like just like a little. And the last time I was there, I think she was probably in her 80s or 90s, but
Really?
she looked about 60. Yeah. So
No way.
she was really old, but she looks really young for her age. And
Wow. What an
she
inspiration.
yeah, and when I think it's the yoga and the prana for her. And
Yeah.
the last time I was there, she was doing the oil on my forehead. I had my eyes closed, and through my eyelids, I saw her like as an old soul woman, like really ancient woman. She looked
Yeah.
about 500. Like, with my eyes closed, she just looked
Yeah.
really like an ancient like soul. I mean, it's like I was seeing like her maturity level in age
I
through my
can
clothes.
see
You know what I'm
that.
saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
like her knowledge and
Yeah.
all this like wisdom and stuff
Yeah.
compiled in, and I was just like, what was that? And she was
Yeah. I mean, that
smiling at
makes
me.
sense.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was so happy that I saw it. It's like she knew I saw it, but it was unspoken.
Really?
Yeah, it was
What kind
like
of oil was it she was rubbing on you?
Nag Champa. Do you know what Nag Champa's incense smells
No.
like?
Uh-uh.
Ooh, Nag Champa is my favorite incense. I will get you some for Christmas. You
Oh.
will love it.
So what is it supposed to do
I
with
don't
the
know. I'm
oil?
not sure. Oh, the oil? I have no idea. I just know it. I just love the smell. It's like an essential oil, I guess. But maybe she mixed it. I don't know where it's like an anointing oil. But Nag
Oh,
Champa is just like an incense. I don't know exactly what it is. It's just called Nag Champa. You've probably seen it
okay.
before. It's like it's usually in those red, blue, and white long boxes. And it says
Yeah.
NAG Champa, CHAMPA. It's my favorite incense. I'm not much into incense, but I love that stuff.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
So, okay, if somebody was going to start doing this, what would you suggest starting out doing?
I
Like
would
researching it maybe
yeah,
or
definitely. And I would find a martial arts studio or something like that. I think like I don't know much about um martial arts and how to go about finding someone to teach you that. But I think that's where you'd go. And there are certain types of karate. that work on it more than others. I think the more defensive types do. Um, I think like Taekwondo might be one. I'm not really sure. I can't remember like which ones are more for defense as far as and
Yeah.
some forms of martial art are just for movement. And that's where like that chi energy comes in. You control your body and you can do things that you never could do before,
Wow.
or you think you can't. And then when, I would say go to an instructor or read about it. But I feel like it's kind of like Reiki. It's like in and Reiki, as I've talked about on the show. Eventually, we'll get April in here. We will. It'll happen.
Yes.
It'll happen someday.
April needs to
And
come.
to me, Reiki is kind of like it, except Reiki, I feel like it's its own thing. It's like its own spirit, energy, or frequency. Whereas Chi is everything in all of us. It's like the breath of life.
Yeah.
It's just all connected. I don't know. It's like the maybe the like frame, like we have this hardware, our body, and maybe the chi is like the electricity going through all the currents and circuits and stuff in our hardware, and
Yeah.
we can like if we were computer programmers of our body and the chi was the electricity going through our hardware, I guess I don't know where to take that analogy, but I mean it's hard to explain,
Okay, so like that would be an awesome thing to do, to join somebody like that. But right now, in these times,
Yes.
nobody's getting together.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is maybe I could start by doing some, basic yoga and researching the
Yeah.
the energy, and then maybe start trying to kind of put the two together, maybe you think,
Yeah, definitely. And
starting
Misty,
out?
and also you personally, and a lot of people are like this, you learn by example. Like I think if you
Yes.
and I were in person, we're on Zoom now, but if we were in person, I could demonstrate that pose to you or just or tell you more about it. You feel it from me because you're such a strong empath. And you would feel the chi. I think that's how April may have, or maybe the spirit sent it to her or showed her somehow because she's very much a medium. That she's
Hmm.
so that's a really good idea, and maybe there are things on YouTube that help you connect, like, there may be,
Yeah.
like, videos on YouTube that teach you how to connect to Prana, Chi, or the Great Spirit, any of those 3 terms. I think I'm sure there's plenty of other terms, but those are the 3 I think of when I think of this energy. It feels like a life force kind of. The Force would be a good thing to use as an example from Star Wars as what Chi
The
is like.
force be with
Yeah,
you.
because the Force makes you be able to do physical things that you can't do in Star Wars. Like most people
Yeah.
can't do unless they are
Yeah.
using the Force. They can flip over airships and that are flying in at them, like Rey did in the last one. Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, so it's kind of what it makes me think of. Also, so we could just call it the Force, and I'd be perfectly okay with that.
Yeah. We can. Let's just do that.
All right.
So I think that's a good start, at least for me, because like I said, a lot of us right now, we're not getting the exercise that we really need,
Yeah.
unless you're into outside stuff like running or walking, you're not really doing a whole lot of activity.
Right.
And so that would be something to start with. I think I might even start it tonight. And
Yeah. Yeah. When we wrap it up, I can like
yeah,
give you a few techniques that you might be able to like. I can't think of any
yeah,
right now to like just throw it out there in the podcast. I mean, other than trying warrior pose, if you want to look up warrior pose,
yeah, I know
uh,
that one.
yeah,
Yeah.
for our listeners, if you want to look up the warrior pose, now your hands. This is just what he taught me. I did it with my right knee forward in the warrior pose. So my right knee was forward. You know how you like, and both hands, he had me do them down first, and I had to look over at my right hand, and then he had me do them forward, where my palms were facing forward, and look at both of them, and then he had me turn them up, and then bring them together and
Okay.
and then bring them together into the folded hands, and then I just felt it, and I just did now when I was doing it, and I wasn't standing because the standing really helps. So when you're standing
Yeah,
up
it
and
helps balance you. Yeah,
yeah,
because you're concentrating more on when you're looking.
and the
That
one
reminds me of like you are feeling the energy outside, and then you kind of like bring it in to
yeah.
yourself.
That's
You
a
know what I
really
mean?
good
That's
way of putting it. Getting in
yeah.
sync with everything that's already
Yeah,
like,
it's like pulling that energy and putting it inside you so
yeah,
you can
yeah. It's already there though. I feel like that's
yeah.
already in us. It's almost like
Yeah.
you boost it, you know, you give it a
Yeah,
kick.
yeah, like a little extra energy, positive, good energy, and you
Yeah.
just kind of grab it in the air and put it in you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't need that, right?
And everybody needs it.
Yeah. So I
For once
think
it's
for
great.
homework for everybody, you should actually do a little research on it and maybe start trying it. And not only, I was talking about the exercise, but like a lot of people right now, like mentally are not in a good place.
Anxiety with
And
the coronavirus, and people are
yes,
getting really
yes,
sick right now. I mean, they have been, but it's
yes.
getting worse. Yeah.
Yes. And so I think that that would be good with somebody with a lot of anxiety as well.
Yes. Yes.
And get them to focus more like on what they can do in the future instead of like where they're stuck now. Like it's got tons and tons of benefits.
It does.
So
It
and
does.
everybody can do it, in some sort. You can do it.
Everybody can. Yes, and it's available.
Yeah.
It's in us all. And the one thing I would want to say as far as advice goes, that always one of the first things I said about it is like loosening the knees. Whenever I think, okay, let's try some chi energy, I just loosen my knees instead of locking them. You just like loose, like if I'm standing up, bend my knees a little tiny bit instead of standing straight up, like I normally would, and just because I'm always tense
It's
and
all in
all.
the core, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
It's
for me, it's more like in my solar plexus to my sacral area, like through, and if you're talking about like chakras in that area, that's kind of like in the video, like right through here is kind of what I
yeah,
feel like is where all the chi
that
kind
little
of
line.
circulates or something. It's kind of like it all meets there and kind of goes all through is what it feels like anyway. But
Yeah.
with everybody being so distanced from everyone, it makes you also feel like a part of everything when I work with chi anyway. I feel
Oh, yeah.
closer. I feel like a part of something. I feel like I'm a part of the world. I'm a part of the energy of the world when I'm working with it. It's not a huge like oh kind of thing. It's just
Yeah,
like
but still.
it's a connection feeling. So like you're
Yeah.
saying, loneliness is also something a lot of people are dealing with.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it
I think
can.
that's really good advice is to focus on that just for your
It
mental
can
health.
boost that feeling. It can make you feel connected, especially to the whole world. Everything living, everything dead, everything, rock. Everything has chi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all
Yeah.
need that. I think we all need to connect, with nature too.
Yeah.
It's
You can't
just
go wrong
all
there.
the no, you can't. So I think that's an awesome thing to learn, and I'm excited to start doing it and learning more about it.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Miss Steve, for meeting with me tonight. We've been trying to get a
No, it's
podcast
fun.
together. We've been trying to get a podcast together for 4 days. And so we just
Yes.
decided we're just gonna do one. We've been
Yep.
trying to get our guests to come, and then everything was just timing off, timing off.
It's hard.
But yeah,
Everybody's got
yeah,
stuff going on, but yeah, I
coordination.
think this was a good one, and I think that it'll help a lot of people. I do,
I hope
including me.
so. I hope so. And any last words, Misty?
Do your homework.
Ooh, she's a taskmaster. I
That's what I say.
I like her advice. I'll say it. So I say, do what she says. What she says.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank
And
you.
bye bye.
Bye.